It is September 15th, 2020. 2020. Oh my god, it's not 2020. It's 2022. Redo! Oh man. So, today is September 15th, 2022. I am not high on drugs right now. I am just on a couple things. Because I got my boobs done. I'm so excited. So I'll give you a little step-by-step walkthrough of what the past few months have been like and really how I got to this decision and what brand I actually used and the cost and everything. So stay tuned. Okay, I am back. I had to get all my paperwork and everything. So, this morning, I checked in at 6:45. My appointment for the surgery started at about 8:45 is when they rolled me back into the OR. So when I first checked in, the front doors were not unlocked because it wasn't normal hours of operating time. So I had to go to the ER to check in, and then they buzzed me through to short stay. So I went over to short stay and sat in the lounge for like, I don't know, like 5 or 10 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, and I was just waiting, you know. I had my paperwork and stuff that they gave me to hand to a nurse when they called my name. And then a nurse walked by and she's like, "Hey, you have surgery in short stay?" I was like, yeah. And she's like, "You know, you can just walk back there and hand the paperwork to a nurse because they're actually waiting for you back there." I didn't know that. So she pointed me in the direction of the actual short stay. I walked in, saw a nurse that I've seen in town for years because I'm local. She's local. We're all locals, and I originally worked at the hospital. So it was absolutely wonderful to see her. Definitely felt super comfortable. Hi, Wendy. And then she showed me back to my room. I was in short stay room 2. There was already someone in room 1 that was prepping for their stuff, and then it was me, and by the time I went back to surgery, all 4 of the rooms in our hallway were filled. So our hospital's popping, man. They're doing good. So when I checked in, sat down, another nurse came in, took my vitals, put in the IV, which, oh my gosh, she got it on the first shot, and that was absolutely amazing. And then, and then the anesthesiologist came in, wrote his name on the board, but he's like, "I'm working with another one," so I guess I had 2 anesthesiologists in my room. But he was super awesome, gave me a heads up that the second guy is super, super, super soft-spoken, so that's really, really funny. For that heads up, which was good because I was like, what? Oh, okay, yeah. Doing good. Nice to meet you. Because they both looked almost exactly the same, especially with the mask and all their hair pulled back. Anyways, then my doctor came in, drew me up, and before he left, I was like, oh my god, I had the worst nightmare that you forgot to remove the lump before putting in the implants. And he was like, "Oh, yes. What side is it on again?" So he drew a little circle where he was going to remove it, but he was removing it from the inside. So no matter what, he would have gone through, felt my breast while he was doing the surgery, and then removed that anyways. But I paid for it and wanted to make sure that it was removed. So, I'll go on to the surgery. Stay tuned. After getting hooked up with everything, the IV, they hooked me up with this really warm thing to help with blood clots and stuff. It keeps your body just regulating and warms you up so you're nice and relaxed for surgery. I got to chill in that for a little bit. I went pee before I went, and then I had a super cute nurse wheel me into the OR, and I was surrounded by a bunch of ladies, a bunch of nurses that were absolutely amazing. I did have 2 male anesthesiologists, and my doctor's male as well. But it was very, very, very comforting being surrounded by all these women, especially when they're like, "Oh my God, who does your eyebrows?" And oh, you know, they were just super, super sweet. And then my doc came in, and he's like, "Oh, you're still awake?" And he like came over to me, and he's like, "Are you sure you want 350s?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." And like he had asked a few times. And then he just like put his hand on my wrist, and he was like, "You're gonna start feeling a little something," and it was the anesthesia. I started feeling like this burning cold sensation, but the weird thing was I could taste it. And I was like, "Ooh, I can taste it." And he's like, "Yeah, you're going to be out soon." And then bam, I was out. And then I was awake. Not on the table. It just felt like surgery took 2 seconds, and I freaking woke up in the hallway. Then another nurse was taking my vitals, you know, just talking to me, making sure that I was good. And I came out of anesthesia so freaking well. Like, for me to have surgery this morning, I'm so awake. I feel good. Like, there's a little bit of tenderness and stuff, but who knows what tonight's gonna be. It's only day 1. So that was really, really wonderful. So I will tell you about my discharge experience. Stay tuned.